Next, because audio also takes us outside of the Tricaster. Because our audio will start outside of the Tricaster. Okay. So you notice here that you've got an audio mixer. So I'm going to click on that.
Okay.
And that's going to show us our 8 channels of input audio.
And those match these, or they're separate?
Exactly.
Because they're audio sources.
They match these.
Okay.
Unless we tell it otherwise.
Okay.
So we're going to go into input 1. Since we want our audio to come from here, wireless mics, we're going to go up here to our input. Right now it's follow video source. We don't want that. Follow video source, it will look for an embedded line audio in from the SDI input here. So we're going to switch that to line, input 1, line audio, input 1.
Okay, so you
And
did
notice
that under
that
audio mixer input 1.
Notice that there's a sprocket for each one of these, which means there's a menu for each one of these. Also under here, you've got your input stuff here. You can actually delay the audio. So if it's coming in a little hot, coming in a little too quick, you can delay that audio, sync it back up. Processing. You got a full EQ, a compressor limiter, a noise gate. Noise gate does exactly what it says it'll do. Anything below 50 dBVU won't be heard. So like the fan noise here, if I had a mic set up here, that wouldn't pick up because it's below the noise gate. Of course, you got your EQ you can set, and routing. So you can route. You have 4 channels of audio in, 4 channels of audio out, and you can route what goes to where. Where that comes in handy is, let's say you had one of these was a Skype caller. You could set it up to where the Skype caller can't hear himself repeat back at himself. You adjust the mix minus by cutting out the channels that feed back to him. So all he gets is external audio from the Tricaster, not his own audio back at his ear, because that can get annoying. So we've set line 1 up to be our input audio from the mixer. And I'm going to do the same thing with line 2. Because I believe we have 2 channels of audio plugged in coming off the mixer. Right there. You got 2 channels coming into the mixer, which are your wireless mics, which are down here.
You have the wireless mic, and you have to turn it on, right? Okay, and you have to remember to turn it off. And that's my wireless mic 1, so it feeds.
Actually, it's wireless mic 2.
Okay, wireless mic 2.
You can tell where it's coming in by the little green light there. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Okay, and you want the levels to go ahead and do your test again.
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Reach
7.
the top of the green, I guess. Okay. And you adjust. I noticed you were adjusting up here.
That's the mic gain.
Okay. Okay. So down here you don't do anything?
You can.
Okay.
But, you know, if you've got that set to the middle range, see how all of them have this? That's optimal audio
Okay.
setting there. So you can add a little bit of mic gain without distorting it. There.
Okay, so the mic gain.
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Now we're adjusting there.
Okay. And the mic gain is the one above the word gain.
Correct.
And these.
That's your compressor here.
Okay.
That'll actually kind of retard the audio a little bit.
Okay.
And then you have your EQ, your high, mid, low.
Okay.
These are effects.
Okay. Ah, I see.
You can choose the effect there, and then this adds the level of that effect.
Okay.
And that last one is also an effect.
So is it a secondary effect? You can choose one effect and another and have different levels of each effect?
You've got two phases of control usually for each one of these. There's the rate and basically the volume.
Okay.
How much of the effect, and then what's the rate of the effect.
Okay.
And this is pan.
Mm-hmm.
Pans it left and right. When it's in the middle, it's a stereo signal.
Okay.
You got your mute buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And of course your PFL Rude Solo, which makes this one override everybody else.
So what does that mean?
So if you have, let's say you were doing a concert and you had a soloist,
Mm-hmm.
you would hit the trigger on that soloist mic so that their mic is hotter than everybody else's.
So does it drop everybody's like 10 decibels?
It just
except
makes sure
hers,
that
or?
that one is seen more than the others.
Okay.
Keep in mind, what this does is mix all of these in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want one to stand out, you click that solo and it takes priority over the others.
Okay. So these then.
Okay. Notice that you have a 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
a left and right,
Mm-hmm.
and then this PFL solo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your 1 and 2 is the submix here. Your left and right is here. Then this controls the PFL effects. How much of the effect are you putting in?
Okay. So how much do you want that mic to stand out above all the rest? The higher than the
Well, yeah, that you adjust here, or up here. But
okay.
we don't want to get too complicated into
Okay.
it. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible for you,
Okay.
because you could get lost in this thing.
Okay. So these are the inputs for those mics. Okay.
Yes.
And these are the outputs from the audio board going into the Tricaster.
And you have some other audio cables that you could hook up other mics and plug in here.
Uh-huh.
So if you want some wired mics, you can plug them up in there.
Okay.
But right now you have these.
Uh-huh. Okay, so that is getting... Okay, so if I want to get the audio input from the board,
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to input settings, local input 1, and then line.
Correct.
Okay, now I want the input from the DDR, or from this computer, for the audio, right?
Well, that's here. That's master.
Okay.
Okay? So whatever's going on, let's go to DDR here. And we play that clip. Well, there's no audio on that clip.
That one should have audio. It shows they have audio, doesn't it?
Your DDR2 does have audio. So there's your control for DDR2.
It's set up right now, and I'm talking on mic 1.
Mhm.
So the video on the stream from this camera will go into the campus along with my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, because we're not capturing the audio from the camera, we're capturing the audio from the mic. And it's being embedded in to the signal.
Into the stream. Right. I didn't know that.
So, the reason I was
Very good.
wondering is, you know, you have variance in levels of the stuff, you shouldn't, but you do, the stuff you put into the DDR.
Mhm.
So, if I want my students, you know, switching between shots, but also consistently making sure we have consistent levels, do they need to have this audio mixer up and just be watching it the whole time? Or is there an easy way for them to adjust? Because I know they can't come over here and adjust because that's just the mics, right?
They can
that's
adjust.
not here.
They can adjust here, but they can come over here and adjust as well. And by the way,
On the audio mixer?
You bet.
Okay.
Another way.
Oh! Huh. Oh.
All of these have their own audio line
Hmm.
that you can just reach up there and grab.